This video was originally going to be about how you can glitch out of the Super Destroyer using the little ramp at the helipods, but I gave up on it after 30 minutes of trying. So instead I'm going to do a video on useless facts about the Super Destroyer that you never needed to know. Useless fact number 1. If you kick at this bench, there is a variety of things that can actually be moved with this, like this thermite right here, and the stratagem ball right there, and probably some other things that I can't quite reach. When attempting to kick the democracy officer, you will never actually hit the democracy officer. I am looking directly at him, straight on, but my leg will always go around the democracy officer and never actually make contact with him. This goes for any personnel on the ship that you might encounter. This NPC on the ship is literally pressing on nothing. Freeloader. There used to be a missile on the Eagle in the Super Destroyer's hangar that had a misaligned missile on it. Try saying that 10 times fast. When you spawn into your Super Destroyer, you'll notice there's an interactable item down here. This item is left over from when you were finishing your tutorial first off, and when you're being able to be walked through by the shipmaster. You can actually see the remnants of this with an interactable NPC down there. The armor shown at the armory in the Super Destroyer is called the FS-23 Battlemaster. The official in-universe name for the Super Destroyer is the Class 6 Series Crewed Interplanetary Combat Vessel. But everyone calls it Super Destroyer because Super and Destroyer sounds much more democratic. The entire length of the Super Destroyer is 170 meters long and 80 meters wide, which is pretty small for spaceships. The Super Destroyer consists of 3 main sections: the bridge, the main hall, and the hangar. The cryopods in the Super Destroyer, the pods of which you come out, always use the default Helldiver skin inside of them, despite whatever customizations you might have. Depending on where you are on the map, your orbitals can be more precise or more off-center and slanted. As you can tell, the Super Destroyer is at a random place when you're in a mission. So, depending on where you align yourself within that mission and where the orbital you place is, the angle of it will be different. So the accuracy of it will also be more accurate or less accurate. If the Super Destroyer is on the left side of the map, then being on the left side of the map will offer more accurate orbitals. If you're on the right side of the map, there will be more spread and dispersion between the shells or the lasers or whatever else you use. As you can see, my Super Destroyer is on the right side of the map. So, by being on the right side of the map as much as I can be, and by calling in an orbital rail cannon strike, it hits pretty much dead on where I put the stratagem. And so now, by being on the other side of the map than my Super Destroyer, and me calling in an orbital rail cannon strike, bit wonky. So you could probably see, with bigger stratagems than an orbital rail cannon strike, this will greatly affect the accuracy and the spread and the distance of where it actually is compared to where your stratagem is. Crew members on the ship that aren't usually accessible sometimes have rare voice lines that you can hear from them. You can actually hear these if you data mine through Helldivers too. A children's hospital drawing tribute appears on a console near the cryo bay, thanks to us doing the Vernon Wells Children's Hospital event. The bridge window design vaguely resembles the Star Wars Republic Venator bridges, because sci-fi loves to just copy from one another, and if it's got big windows, let's just make big windows. Cryopods have a port on Helldiver helmets, in the lore, that was meant for an oxygen line that pops off on deployment. You can actually see this port on the back of helmets that you wear. The Super Destroyer has no visible crew quarters at all anywhere on the ship. So this assumes that the crew just remains like this, or they just sleep where they are, which is a bit depressing. There are 5 visible fire extinguishers in total, which according to OSHA standards is not up to regulation. There needs to be a lot more fire extinguishers if you have this many bombs in any confined space. When standing on the presentation platform at the main hall on the Super Destroyer, your feet actually go through the ground. A little bit. The big blue thing you see at the back of the ship is called the Akubi air drive. This drive is used for faster than light travel and is copied off of the Illuminate, and is fueled by E710. The NPCs on the Super Destroyer don't have any cape collision on them. On the ground of the Super Destroyer you can see various emblems and writing on the ground to remind us what we're fighting for. Liberty, democracy, liberty again, liberty again, liberty, democracy, liberty, democracy, liberty again. The banners on the Super Destroyer tilt left and right very slightly. When looking at the front of your Super Destroyer, you may notice that there are other Super Destroyers. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I have been told that this is actually relevant to how many people are on the mission. The stratagems coming from the Super Destroyers may not be accurate, but how many people are on the planet is relevant to how many Super Destroyers there are in the atmosphere. And to illustrate, when a Super Destroyer leaves a planet, their ship will explode. That was 24 useless facts and 1 useful fact about the Super Destroyer. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any facts that you know about the Super Destroyer, or any that you'd like to share about Helldivers 2, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe and share with a friend, and I'll see you all in the next video.